Hi everyone, in this video let's discuss about customs valuation, determination of value of the imported goods, rules 2007. So in this rules we are going to discuss about the valuation of imported goods. What are the rules which are there here? Transaction value of imported goods, transaction value of identical goods, transaction value of similar goods, directive value, computed value and residual method. These are the six methods and six rules which are available to us for the purpose of valuation. Okay. Now, rule 2. Generally, rule right. Place of importation. Place of importation is defined as the custom station where the goods are being brought for being cleared for the home consumption or removed for a deposit in a warehouse. Cleared for home consumption. This would mean that they are actually delivered to the end consumer, removed for deposit in a warehouse. That is, we are going to keep in the warehouse, okay, for further sale. Related person. Persons including legal person deemed as related persons if such persons are officers or of one other business. Such persons are legally recognized partners in the business. Such persons are employer and employee. A third person controls directly or indirectly or owns or holds greater than 5% of voting stock or shares of both of them. One of them controls the other. One of them controls the other directly or indirectly. A third person controls the other directly or indirectly. Such person together control a third person, members of the same family. One of them is sole agent or distributor or sole concessionaire of other, which means agent, principal agent. I am the only agent of that one. Then I am related to that person. Okay. All other things are self-explanatory, right? Identical goods. Identical goods means imported goods. It's a means definition. So it is exclusive definition. Okay. Means imported goods which are same in all respects, but except for minor differences in appearance that do not affect the value of the goods. It is very same, only small differences is there, okay, which does not affect the value of the goods. Similar goods, imported goods, although not alike in all aspects, have characteristics like common materials which enable them to perform the same function and to be commercially interchangeable with the imported goods with respect to the quality, reputation, and existence of a trademark. Okay, like identical goods means should be same in all respects except for minor differences. Okay, similar goods means quite similar, but for the same brand, same quality, everything is similar, but there are some variations. Okay, then produced in a country in which imported goods were produced in a country in which the imported goods were produced. So the same country should be country of manufacture, the country of production should be same for both the goods. Okay, same person should be produced by the same person who produced the imported goods where no such available goods are available, then produced by a different person. Should be produced first. I have to check whether it is produced by the same person. If it is there, then okay. If it is not there, then I can check whether similar goods are produced by a different person, but shall not include, so this is very important, right? Where engineering or development work, etc., undertaken in India were completed directly or indirectly by the buyer on these imported goods free of charge or at reduced cost for use in connection with the production or sale for export of these imported goods. So, which does not include. I have done the engineering and development work in India, okay, and then I have exported these goods, okay, either free of charge or at a reduced cost, okay. Then such re-import that raw material has been used in this product and then re-import in India, then that will not be known as identical product, okay. Now, or similar product. Now, rule 3 is the first rule, okay. Determination of method of valuation. First one is the determination. Which method I have to check? That is the Rule 3. Value of the imported goods under Rule 3 is equal to transaction value adjusted as per Rule 10 subject to Rule 12. Transaction value, which is nothing but transaction values as per Rule 10 subject to Rule 12. So let's see what that is later. Okay. Rule 12. For now, understand Rule 12 is that it is a power given to the proper officer, power or right given to a proper officer to reject the transaction value, that is known as Rule 12. Such transaction value shall be accepted. When a transaction value shall be accepted, it will be accepted only when there is no restriction on the buyer for disposal of the goods. There is no restriction on the buyer to dispose the goods. And it was sale was not subject to any consideration for which value cannot be determined. There is no conditions for which the value cannot be determined, and no further consideration will also accrue. Okay, there is no contingent consideration. Okay, there is no further consideration. Then alone the transaction value shall be accepted. Then buyer and seller are unrelated. Buyer and seller are unrelated. So four conditions are there. No price is not subject to conditions or consideration for which the value cannot be determined. No further consideration will accrue to the seller which is not adjustable as per Rule 10. Buyer and seller are unrelated. If the buyer and seller are related, then also transaction value will be accepted when the relationship did not influence the price. There is no price influence. Okay, it is like whenever I sell the goods to unrelated party, the same price I'm going to sell with the related party. Then such transaction value will be accepted. Okay, importer proves. Say that's the point here. Importer proves. Importer proves. So the onus is on the importer. Onus is on the importer. Importer proves that the price is close to transaction value of identical or similar goods in sales to unrelated buyers, deductive or computed value of identical or similar goods. Now, let's move on to the rule 4, which states about the transaction value of the identical goods. Transaction value of the identical goods. Transaction value of the identical goods sold for export to India. Sold for export to India, which means I am importing the goods. Nothing but I am importing the goods. Okay. Import at or about the same time as the goods being valued. I'm going to import at the same time as the goods being valued. Identical goods should be at the same commercial level, say unsubstantially same quantity. I'm going to give the same manufacturing level, okay? And I'm going to give a same 1,000 quantity, okay? Substantially the same, substantially, which means if it is 900 quantity, it's also fine, okay? It's substantially the same, okay? If sold at different commercial level or quantity, the adjustment are to be made for the difference. If there is any quantity discount, then such has to be adjusted. Okay, adjustment to be made on account of difference in distance and means of transport used for import of identical goods. Okay, if there is any change so for one I have transport by way of air, and then I have transfer by way of ship, then this transport cost adjustment is also to be made while arriving at the transaction value for identical goods. In case more than one transaction value of the identical goods is available, then lowest will be considered. For the benefit of the importer, I'm going to consider only the lowest value. If there is more than one transaction value for the identical goods, then I will consider the lowest value which is arrived at. Okay. Now, principles will be followed for similar goods also. Similar principle for similar goods. Okay. Identical, same for identical and the similar goods. Both same principle followed. Okay. Now, Rule 6. When the value cannot be determined either on the 3 or 4 or 5, then we are supposed to determine the value under Rule 7. Rule 8 will come only when Rule 7, value under Rule 7 cannot be determined at the request of the importer. So, importer has to request the proper officer, and subject to his approval, he can apply Rule 8 before Rule 7. We'll discuss what both these rules are, but first understand that first I'm not able to determine the transaction value directly or for the identical goods or with the what a similar goods principle. Okay, then what the rule states that you can determine the value as per Rule 7. Okay, and if you are not able to determine the value as per Rule 7, then move on to Rule 8. So then you are given a right to request, based on the importer's request, the proper officer has the power to allow to apply the Rule 8 before Rule 7. Okay, Rule 8 is about computed value and Rule 7 is about deductive value. What does deductive value means? Unit price. I have to add unit price at which the imported identical or similar goods imported are sold. I think greatest aggregate quantity to unrelated person in India. Okay, what is the maximum similar goods have been imported, right? What is the maximum quantity which have been delivered? Okay, aggregate quantity. What's the price? Okay, you have to take that and less. You have to deduct commission, profit or general expenses relating to sales in India, transport costs within India, within India. See, it is also in India. It's also in India. Customs duty payable in India. So you have to take the unit price. Okay, unit price of the goods which is sold in aggregate quantity, that is maximum greatest aggregate quantity, to an unrelated person in India, and you have to deduct the customs duty payable in India and deduct the transport cost payable in India, transport, insurance or other freight related cost in India, deduct the commission, profit and general expense relating to sales in India. You have to deduct all these so that you will arrive at a cost. So this is not a deductible. So you're taking a base figure as unit price and deducting all your expenses which have to be occurred in India. Then you're going to arrive at a value. That value will be known as transaction value as per the rule 7, that is deductive value. Now, moving on to rule 8, which is nothing but computed value. We're going to make some computations here. Okay, which means I'm going to take the cost value of materials and fabrication of the processing employed in producing the imported goods. I'm going to take the cost of the imported goods, okay, cost of manufacture or production, cost of production of the imported goods, add. Profit and general expense usually reflect on sales of the goods of same class or kind of goods made in the country of exportation for export to India. This is profit of that country, not mine. Okay, profit of that country exporter. Okay, profit of that country's exporter. I'm going to add, and other general expense I'm going to add, and then arrive at a computed value. If one more thing I can add, what is other thing? Expense referred to in rule 2. Some expense could be there in the other country, right? That can also be added. Okay, so first I will take the cost of production, add the profit margin of the exporter, add the general expenses or the other kind of expenses referred to in rule 10 sub rule 2, and to arrive at the computed value. So I'm making some computations by adding the cost to the value of the production, add the profit and the general expenses in that of the exporter, and then add the expense referred to in rule 10 sub, okay, to arrive at the computed value as per rule 8. Okay, now rule 9 is nothing but a residual method. Okay, residual method value, I'm not able to determine the value under any of the above rules. Okay, then the value can be determined using reasonable means and consistent with the principles of general provisions on the basis of data available in India. Whatever data I'm having, with that data I'm going to give some value, determine some value. That value should be less than or equal to normal price of such goods. Okay, normally I'm going to sell at some price, some price. For example, some engineering equipment is going to be sold at 1 lakh, and this value should not exceed 1 lakh. It should be less than or equal to that value. Now, residuary method cannot be applied uh, for valuation on the basis of, see, this is the important question because it's going to be a theory question, just 4 mark question, right? Selling price in India of the goods produced in India. I cannot apply residual method for the goods manufactured in India, right? So that is there. Then a system which provides for the acceptance of customs purposes of the highest of two alternative. See, whenever there are some goods for which the highest value will be taken, we have taken lowest value, right? So some cases there will be highest value. For that value, residual method will not be taken. Then the price of the goods on the domestic market of the country of exportation. Okay, I cannot determine the price of the goods of the country of the export. Okay, then the cost of production other than the computed value which have been determined for identical or similar goods as per rule 8. The price of the goods for export to be to a country other than India. For a country other than India, I cannot determine the price with the customs rules as per my Indian customs rules, right? That is what given. Minimum custom value and arbitrary or fictitious value. For notional values, I will not be able to determine with these rules. Okay. So there are 7 points. Let's repeat. Selling price in India of the goods produced in India, a system which provides for the acceptance for customs purposes of highest of two alternatives, the price of the goods on the domestic market of the country of exportation, the cost of production other than computed value which have been determined for identical or similar goods as per rule 8, the price of the goods for an export to a country other than India, minimum customs value or arbitrary or fictitious value. These valuations cannot be made on the basis of residuary method, or residuary method cannot be used for valuation on the basis of these things. Okay, now valuation, application of valuation rules. Okay, valuation rules to be applied sequentially. Okay, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, however, the importer may request, we discussed, right, we can apply the computed value before the deductive value, and residuary method can be applied only when none of the methods are applicable. Okay, transaction value rejected under rule 12 or the transaction value not available, then you can determine the value as per, see, I am not having the transaction value, only then I will going to compute the transaction value with this method. If I have the transaction value, I will not go with that one. So I will go with that one and not this one. Okay, then if also apply rule 3 and then take the transaction value just in accordance with rule 10. Okay. What is rule 10? Rule 10 is for cost and services. Cost to be added if not included. There are certain costs that to be added if it is not included, like buying commissions except buying commission except buying commission. It's an important point. Okay, all commissions have to be added, but not buying commission because it's going to be included in India. Engineering design undertaken elsewhere in India, not in India. You have done. Okay. Royalty and license fee as a condition of sale. Proceeds of any subsequent sale according to the seller. All other payments as a condition of sale. These have to be added. Okay. Now, there are certain costs, okay, which have to be added, which we have discussed. Right. Now, transaction value shall include certain things, okay, like transport costs, loading and unloading charges up to the place of importation. So, beyond the place of importation, okay, place of importation we have discussed, right? What is the place of importation? Remembering? Yes. The custom station, right? Custom station where the goods are being brought for the clearance to the home consumption or for deposit in the warehouse. Good. Yeah. And the insurance cost. These will be included in the transaction value. What is the transport cost? Transport, if it is not ascertainable. If it is ascertainable, then fine. If it's not ascertainable, then 20% of FOB, that is 20% of customs FOB. Now, if customs FOB itself is not ascertainable, okay, but customs FOB plus insurance cost is ascertainable, okay, then transport, loading, unloading, and handling charges will be 20% of FOB plus insurance cost. Whichever is there, you will put 20%, okay. See, if I'm directly asserting the customs FOB, then 20% of it will be transportation cost. If transportation cost is not directly given, okay, then if customs FOB alone is not ascertainable, but I can arrive with the value of customs FOB plus insurance, then it will be 20% of such cost, okay, transport cost. Insurance cost. Insurance cost is 1.125% of customs FOB, okay, or 1.125% of customs FOB plus transportation cost. Now, either one will generally be given. Okay, don't worry. Now, key points regarding, okay, see, if both are not given, the first one will be applied, right? Customs FOB will be there. You will take the one. If only one is to be given, then this way, other way will be the method to be applied. Then, key points regarding the transportation cost. In case of goods imported by air, where the transportation, loading, unloading, and handling is ascertainable only for the goods imported by the air, okay, even though it's ascertainable, such value shall not exceed 20% of FOB value. See, generally, only if the FOB value is not ascertainable, we will apply 20%. But for the goods imported by the air, the aggregate of the transporting, loading, unloading, and handling charges shall not exceed 20% of FOB value, even though it is ascertainable. So, even though the value is given, you have to check whether it is greater than or equal to 20%. I mean, greater than 20%, then you have to take only 20%. In case of goods imported by sea or air and transshipped to another customs station, for example, let's understand this by this example. Okay, I have received the goods in a big container, big vessel. Okay, from China to India. Okay. Now I have received these in, say, in Mumbai, or say a port in Kolkata. Okay, somewhere. Okay. Now I have to move this to a ship, to a port in Visakhapatnam. Okay. Now I will not use this big vessel again to move to Visakhapatnam. I will use a small one, right? That's what known as transshipment. Okay. Transshipment. Okay, I am using one other small ship or vessel to unload and transport this to another customs station. Okay, the cost of insurance will be excluded. Transshipment cost of insurance and transport will be excluded. Okay, see, for transport it will be included, transshipment will not be included. Okay, understood? See, for example, let's take an example here. Okay, see, I am a big vessel. Okay, big vessel is there from China to India. Okay, assume it reaches somewhere in Kolkata. Okay, now I have to bring some goods from it to Vizag. Okay, then what I will do? I will transfer it to a small ship, right? This is known as transshipment. Okay, all the costs associated with this transshipment will be excluded while arriving at the transaction value. Okay, cost of transport of the imported, okay, includes ship demurrage charges on chartered vessel and lighterage and barge charges. All these charges will be included in the cost of transport. So assume you are given in the question like transport is given separately and demurrage charges, lighterage charges, barge charges are given separately. Then what you will think, these are not, I have not read these, so that I am not include. No, it's not the case. You have to include these along with the transport charges. Now, the customs FOB is nothing but FOB price plus rule 10(1), that is cost and services, that is certain costs are to be included, right? Those one. Okay, customs FOB is nothing but it is like freight on free on board, right? It's nothing but customs FOB is equal to FOB price plus rule 10(1) cost and services. Accessible value. What is the accessible value? Accessible value here would mean customs FOB plus CIF value being accessible value for valuation. What is rule 10(2)? It should include transporting costs up to the place of importation and insurance costs, right? Those two will be included with the customs FOB, that will be known as CIF value being accessible for the purpose of valuation. Now, rule 11, declaration by the imported. Importer or his agent shall furnish a declaration disclosing the full and accurate details relating to the value of imported goods. Whenever I'm going to import any goods, I have to declare, right? That declaration will be made under Rule 11. Rule 12. We have discussed right in the beginning. That is, the proper officer has the right to reject the declared value. So when a proper officer to reject the value of the imported goods declared by the importer, if he has a reason to doubt the truth or accuracy of such value, it shall be deemed that the transaction value of such imported goods cannot be determined under Rule 3, Sub-Rule 1. Okay, it's like if the proper officer has the doubt with respect to the truth and accuracy of the value which is given by the importer, then the transaction value which is to be determined has been declared shall be rejected and can be stated that transaction value cannot be determined under Rule 3 sub Rule 1. Okay, with this, customs rules with respect to importation of goods has been discussed. Thank you. If you like this video, please do like this video and then share with your friends for better reach. Thank you.